The velocity v of a particle depends upon the time t according to that equation. Now this is a dimensional analysis question and we are being required to find the units of A, B, C and D. Now, and of course we're supposed to find what physical quantities they represent. So looking at this whole thing, for starters, it is a rule in dimensional analysis that when you add or subtract any two quantities, they are supposed to be having the same dimensions. That's the rule. If you're adding or subtracting any quantities, they're supposed to be having the same dimension. So in this case, we have v here is velocity. Then we have t here being time. According to the equation, it's time t. So for example, here, if we say d plus t, if these two were, it was even possible to add them. It was possible to add them because they had the same units. And because they had the same units, so if the dimensions, this is time, and we know that for time it is capital T, it means that the dimensions for D is also T. So D is sorted. Now in dimensional analysis, there is a principle we called the principle of, dimensional homogeneity. Now that's just a complex word to mean something very simple. That when you're looking at an equation, if this equation is to be valid, it means that the dimensions of this side should be equal to the dimensions of that side. In other words, the dimensions of both sides of an equation should be the same. That is dimensional homogeneity, or call it, you might say that an equation is dimensionally consistent. And an equation is dimensionally consistent if the dimensions of one side of the equation is the same as the dimensions of the other side. So now, looking at this is velocity, and we know that the dimensions of velocity are L t to the power negative 1. Those are the dimensions of velocity. So if the dimensions of velocity are L t to the power negative 1, it means that the dimensions of this whole side are also equal to, combined, is L t to the power negative 1. The dimensions of this whole side. But then if you look at this whole side, it is a summation of this plus that plus this. So what does that mean? That simply means that if remember we said that in dimensions there is this principle that if you add or subtract any two things, that their dimensions have to be the same. Just like the way we did here to get the dimensions of D to be time. Because when we added these two, if the dimensions of this is T, it means that the dimension of this one is also T. That is how these two are able to be added. So it's the same with these groups. If we added this group plus that group, it would mean that the dimensions of this is the same as the dimensions of that. And the dimensions of this is the dimensions of that, by that principle. It would mean that if this whole thing, the dimensions are Lt to the power negative 1, and the dimensions of these groups we are adding are supposed to be the same because of this addition sign in between, then it would simply mean that the dimension of each of these members is Lt to the power negative 1. That is the only way it can make this whole thing have the same dimensions as the left-hand side. Now, if the dimensions of this, for example, is Lt to the power negative 1, the dimension of this is Lt to the power negative 1, the dimension of this whole thing is Lt to the power negative 1. If you add these three, of course, it will end up with giving you something like 3Lt to the power negative 1, and that 3Lt to the power negative 1 is equal to an Lt to the power negative 1 this way. Now, somebody might be confused and say, now, what's up with these three? It doesn't make the two the same. But here we are dealing with dimensions. So this 3 is not a factor. This 3 is useless because it's dimensionless. We are just interested in comparing the dimensions of this side to the dimensions of that side. So following that kind of reasoning, it means that the dimensions of V are equal to also the dimensions of AB. It also means that the dimensions of V, which is L to the power negative 1, are equal to the same as the dimensions of BT. It also means that the dimensions of V still are equal to the dimensions of C. Divide that by the dimensions of D plus the dimensions of T. So we are going to use that to solve, to find A, B, and C. So let's start with what we know here. We know here that this is LT to the power negative 1 is equal to, what are the dimensions here of C? We do not know the dimensions of C. Divide that by the dimensions of D, which we already got as T. So this is T plus T. Of course, this is going to give us dimensions of C over 2T. This is equal to LT to the power negative 1. When we multiply both sides by 2T by 2T, this will go with that. We shall remain with the dimensions of C giving us 2. Now T times T, this is to the power 1, remember. So when you're multiplying 2 T's, same base, what you add to the powers, you add them, you end up with 0, so it's 2L. So it means that C, 2L. Now L, if you're saying 2L, this 2 is a constant, and constants are dimensionless, so it means that this C is representing L. The dimensions of C are simply L. And if you're to come here to see, they are saying that determine the units of A, B, C, and D. So it means that the units of D are L, which so happens to be meters. Those are the units of C. So we have finished for this part. We have finished for this. So let's go ahead and find for B. So still the dimensions of V are LT to the power negative 1 is giving us the dimensions of B times T. The dimensions of time is T. So we divide both sides by T here, by T right there. If this goes with that, we shall remain with the dimensions of B giving us LT to the power negative 2. So B, the dimensions of B are LT to the power negative 2. So if it is LT to the power negative 2, this is more like acceleration. This whole thing is acceleration. Then let's go on and find the dimensions remaining here. I think we have gotten for C. We have for C. So we have gotten for C as meters. We have for B. We have for D. Now we need to find for A. So to find the dimensions of A, dimensions of V here is LT to the power negative 1 is equal to, under the square root of the dimensions for A, which we are looking for, times the dimensions of B, which we got as LT to the power negative 2. Now let's first get rid of this square root sign by squaring on both sides, so that this square root sign dies with that. So what remains here, we have, this is dimensions of A times LT to the power negative 2 is equal to, this is L squared, this is T to the power negative 2. So we divide both sides by LT to the power negative 2, so that this goes with that, this goes, this T to the power negative 2, this goes with that. So here the dimensions of A are L. This is 2 minus 1 here, you remain with L. And that is also a length, which is meters. So in other words, they're telling us to determine the units of A, B, and C. We've determined the units for A. We determined the units for A as meters because it's length. The units of B, we got the units of B, LT to the power negative 2, that was acceleration. The units for C, we got the units for C right here as meters, and then the units for D, we got them as seconds, which is t. I have a full lecture on dimensions where I introduce dimensional analysis from the very beginning, showing you all the very basics on how we find the dimensions of simple parameters like velocity, acceleration, volume. I explain it from the very basics and how it builds up to complex numbers such as this. If you want to have a firm foundation in this topic of dimensional analysis, be sure to check out that video. It's in the description below. Like this video if you like it. Be sure to subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Check out other awesome physics tutorials on the channel. If there's any topic that you would like me to handle, please let me know in the comment section below. And as always guys, thank you very much for watching. This is Arnold Rangakuramia and I will see you next time.